value study I did initially, it gives me a map. It's my map. Ah, too much blue. But yeah, blue is strong and it gets on there and you got blue. Cooling this down, he has just more grays. Or cooler tones. I call them grays. It's not really gray, it's just cooler. If we have enough cool tones going, then we end up with prettier warm tones because it has something to play against and show off against. Okay, getting that back line off just a bit. This line comes up, his hips are up in here, and I didn't get those in initially as I would have liked them, so I'm bringing them in now at this point. Kind of giving me too much of a hard line, but I'll correct that as I go. I'm going to come in here. No, I'm not. Not yet. Never mind. I do want to come in here and correct this back line on his back. Lemon yellow, sap green, white. I do want to get this hip the way I want it. It needs to scoop down more right through here. I'm going to add a little bit of rose tone to that because it'll take the intensity out of the pink, the green. What color are we working with? If you haven't tried talking and painting, keeping your thoughts clear at the same time, it's a challenge. It's fun, but it is certainly a challenge. Okay. Gonna get me in trouble if I keep doing that. All right. So I want to come now further into the lights on this horse. I do. I want to come into I'm going to come in with my transparent oxide yellow and a yellow ochre light. I'm just going to see how this addresses in here. He's pretty golden. I'm just going to warm it up a bit. I'm actually going to try a little bit of orange into that color. Everything is an experiment, honestly. You don't know till you mix it and you try it as to what it's going to do. That's not bad. I do feel like I want a little bit more coppery feeling here. So I'm coming into my burnt sienna, but I don't want it to get too dark. I usually paint to music, and I tried to get music on YouTube in the background, which was having trouble loading, and then I needed to turn on the air conditioner. So then there was the dealing with the fan noise. So Anyway, so I'm just painting here without. I really like music. I like it that the saying is music is the thread upon which the soul travels. And honest to goodness, where would we be without music and song? But I love just beautiful music to paint to, and I really appreciate musicians. And what about that creativity, right? To go in and compose, bring all these instruments together at just the right time, the music, and if there's song to it, it's just kind of like, it amazes me. And I'm forever grateful for the musicians. I love music. I'm adding a little bit of white to my mixtures. I'm going up a level. It gets cooler up again in here, but right now I want to get in this, it's a bright color. I may end up with a cad red light into it even. Yep, I think I'm going to add a little bit more warmth. I like to play with color. I really do. I have to keep the brush wiped out if I get something dark into it that I don't want there. Do too much work around this eye, I'm going to have to go to a smaller brush. But right now, I just want to lay in the value changes and the temperature changes. It really does get grayer over here. I'm going to come back to my cooler tones. Wrong brush. This thing's not been cleaned very good, I see, or it's old or something. Good for scrumbling. Sometimes it's hard to move past the value study into all these colors, because at some point you feel like you're losing something. You know, where it looked better at one point or the other, but you have to trust. You have to trust yourself, and you have to be willing to explore, and you have to be willing to make mistakes. Can't teach yourself, learn to do anything unless you're willing to take a risk. Ooh, that's really green, but I'm thinking I'm gonna kind of go with that and work it in. I'm not unhappy with it. That was an accident, but it kind of is working for some of these cooler areas. He's got some of these cooler areas Everything to me is a transition. It's like warm, cool, warm, cool, back and forth, back and forth. And he's gonna look a little dark. Whoopsie, now he's jumping off my easel. This is what happened once before. And we don't want him to do that. Burnt sienna. I have to move this leg back. It's way over here. This leg. This part right here. It was bothering me in the beginning. It was like something was off in that leg. So at this point, that's what I'm looking for is temperatures, right? This actually is a little bit warm, that temperature. And but simple enough to cool off. Bringing a little bit of blues into colors, even a little bit of white. But I'm keeping the form, the 3 dimensions is what I am trying to keep. And if I lose it, it's just harder to get back. So I really try to hang on to it all the way through. Trying to, at this point, brighten this color up. Take it up a little higher in warmth. And light, I mean more white into there. Make it too light, always that like fine line. There, now his form is better. Okay. This thing is too big for my clips on this easel. Oh! Okay. I have this tripod right at my left elbow, so I don't know how much it changed, but oh well. We will keep going. Right? Can't let things disturb you too much. All it is paint on fabric, right? That's what I tell my students. Try not to stress. to paint on fabric. Kind of a funny joke to me. It's not really that easy, but it helps to take the stress out. Okay, so he's got some light that's coming down to here, and then it swoops down into here, and then back like that. Okay, that's better. I'm gonna play around a little bit with this gray violet, or violet gray, because this guy will be reflecting the sky, his environment, and so I'm bringing in this gray violet color in areas. It kind of showed up over here as this up in here, but I'm going to articulate it even more as a gray violet, where to me he would be reflecting the sky more so. And even like some of these edges around his ears, to me there's reflected lights up in there. This year I have to build a little bit more. The color I'm bringing in out in here is also the gray violet. And it helps place him in his environment, to actually be picking up hues of this color into him. And you kind of lose a little bit of the form, some of the darks, and all the way through you have to reestablish your darks. As you move from your halftones into your lights and back and forth, that way you do tend to lose your darks, and the darks have to be revisited all the way through. There we go. They just do. Otherwise, excuse me, otherwise we do lose them. I'm going to try adding a little bit of white in here to this gray violet, because he is just really kind of picking up some of these gray violets and a little lighter value into some of these areas. That might be a bit much, and then again maybe not. I kind of like it like right here. Bringing that up. I'm gonna like it right here as well. The light really showed up right there, which is okay. And he's got it right on top of that nostril too. I'm okay with bringing those lights up like that. I really am. A little bit of it on a hoof down here. I'll articulate that more so as we go along. And it is also articulated more down in here. Casting a shadow. So, this section in here, I'm undecided what color to paint it. Kind of liking this gray violet because it's catching the light but reflecting the sky. So it's not really his copper penny color. Those are more in the halftones. So this gray violet is working well because the lights change from being cool and warm, and he's not really real light through here, but he is a different color, different temperature. So this violet gray violet, what is it called? Violet Gray by Holbein is the color I'm kind of scrumbling in here. So I'm kind of getting to a point that I might be stopping this video. A few darks I want to get in right here on his hoof. I know I'm not talking much right now. Trying to get my shapes and everything in here. Okay, his nose right here. Have to get some of the darks back in, halftones anyway, because he lost some of the form in his face. Ask me what color I'm using. I'm playing around on my palette, grabbing what I can mix together to, I think his lip is down a little further. So I'm going to drop all this area down. And what's funny about this is it's so easy to just come back in and lower the mouth just a little bit. There we go. Okay, I wanted to a little more work on these ears. Try to make a warm green or warm brown. And so a little correcting up in here. I'm going to put more curve into this ear. So to correct, you just come in with the right color, right? It's not a huge deal. And then I am coming in with my violet gray with a little bit of light mixed into it, because this little ear here is also reflecting some of those darks. And I consider this still just kind of laying in, building it. Building it and building it over and over. Just keep addressing different things. And I know I'm rambling. Cooling off some of this shadow area a bit with my ultramarine blue. I'm going to come in here right a little bit darker. Pull this off a little bit. This hoof is actually kind of casting a shadow onto the horse. A little bit darker in there as well. A little bit darker and cooler underneath there. And almost to black right here on this hoof. And the same, almost black, right here on this hoof as well. And there is darks on the back side of that knee joint. This, I think, actually angles a little bit more that way. I hope you can hear me okay. I get to muttering when I'm painting and talking. I don't know how much further to go on this. We're at an hour already. It's a long video. But I still have finished work to do in the eyes. But I need more time. And I do need to take a break. So at this point, I've got a color here I want to get on. Over here. So, I think for me, this is a good place to stop. If I continue it, I'll try to video the rest of it, because I'm in a place I'd like to keep painting, but I don't know how long I can do this video for. So I'm using what paint I've got, and there goes the canvas again, and I hit the camera. Must be time to stop. Sorry, must be time. So anyway, here's this piece, looking for a name. Maybe the person I'm painting it for already has a name picked out. I'd like to hear it. So anyway, Gonna sign off here, and I hope you enjoyed this. In this picture, I'm just gonna take this, and I'm gonna take this and bring it right in front of the painting, because these colors over here look really diffused and grungy from the side. But so we can see he's coming along fine. That warm spot on his forehead, I'm going to kind of diffuse a bit. Anyway, here we go. So we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.